Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know where Mace, Potts, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the Coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Houston Texans. With that, let's get down to Mexico City. Standing by for the call, here are Senor Gordon and Senor Davis.
From the oldest capital city in the Americas, founded in 1325, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Mexico City. Today, we've got another installment of the International Series, and it should be a good one, between the Dallas Cowboys and the Houston Texans. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said. The key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
The veteran kicker Mason Crosby set to do the honors here. And we are underway from Mexico City. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They're led onto the field by a man who needs no introduction, Ben Roethlisberger.
An absolute prototype for what you draw up as a big, strong quarterback that has to stay in the pocket and make big throws with people all around him and even hanging on him, and still has that type of strength to get the ball downfield. Ben Roethlisberger, an absolute rock in the pocket, but he also can escape and make big plays that way as well.
230.
Check. Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Pierre Desir. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Boy, an aggressive play call to start this game. It backfired, but aggressive, no question about that.
Is that one of those statement calls? Trying to let you know that they're going to be aggressive right out of the gate, but that one hung up just a little bit too long. He made a nice play on the ball defensively and was able to pick it off.
And now out comes Houston.
Waiting.
50 to Mike. 50 to Mike.
Watch the slip.
They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, Eckler. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a first down.
Defense.
A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get off on the snap, jump too quickly.
So forget the 3 and out. The penalty makes this 1st and 10.
Hey, 4 down.
They'll run here with Eckler. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
It's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they've got to be thrilled to have this game still at 0-0 after the interception thrown on the very first play of the game.
They certainly do. And what I enjoyed was watching him on the sidelines, because as the defense came off, he was there to congratulate them and really say thanks, because he threw the interception. It didn't turn into any points.
Black 20. Mike 44.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's got a man. Complete. Give him 32 on the play.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. On 2nd down, Freeman. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. No score after 1 on EA Sports. On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. And this will be caught. Tyrell Williams. And he is out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
That's another Cowboys 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Ready? 230.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down. That fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now it's Roethlisberger. They'll find Everett there, complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. DJ Chark there to make the grab as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Good bounce-back drive right there through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads them right down the field into the end zone.
Agree totally. Excellent bounce back, tremendous poise, confidence never lost, and obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
This pass finds its way to Williams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. He's gone, and the defense loses him. It's complete. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 36 yards on the play. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Wentz now on 1st down. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Wentz to throw again. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Again, it's Wentz. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The tight end, David Njoku, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
He's got his man. This is Tate. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Now Mason Crosby on for the field goal. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This is taken at the 3. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. They started on the ground with Eckler. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Check 26.
It's Eckler again. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me.
Running on first down, Eckler. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
This is a counter play. Eckler, and 3 yards there, takes him to the 45. The last 3 plays have resulted in gains of 1, 2, and now 3 yards here. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 34-yard line.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Wentz. He completes it to Tate. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They go back to the ground now with Eckler. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now.
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike.
Second and 5 now. Wentz. He'll get this to Eckler. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
They need a touchdown, but also have to be wary of leaving too much time for Roethlisberger. Here's first and goal. They'll look to run with Connor. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll try to run it. This is Connor. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They face a critical third and goal now in a one-score game. Back to throw. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. That one in the books as a 12-play drive, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So Ben Roethlisberger and the offense down 10-7, a minute 54 on the clock. They need at minimum 3 points out of this as they come up first and 10.
Let's go!
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
Second and 3 at the 30-yard line.
Clock running, about to hit 90 seconds to go in the game.
They can't hang with that.
Here's Roethlisberger. This one complete to Devontae Freeman. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a first down. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Pull that! Like 30!
Check. I got you.
They'll look to throw. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
They drive some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game. Roethlisberger to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
3 yards to go.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now it's Roethlisberger. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 32-yard line.
Pardon, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
Still time to go for the win, but they've got to get up and spike it quickly. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They run. Devontae Freeman. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Out left, he's got it to Everett. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
They only need a yard here. 3rd down and 1 after the penalty. Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early. The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
Well, that's a tough, costly penalty because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he will not be able to get the first as he can get this only down to the 5. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick here is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1.
We got this.
And we have free football. Overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Let's get off the field, B. Let's get off the field.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Third and 8 situation. A tough spot here in overtime on the opening drive. First throw in overtime now for Roethlisberger. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 44-yard line. This is Freeman. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Roethlisberger. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on 2nd down, and that leads to a tough 3rd down call. Here's Roethlisberger. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Well done by the defense. They did their job here in overtime.
Boy, did they ever, because now it's 4th and really long. So if you do decide to go for it, people think you might be a little bit on the nut side, don't they? But guess what? If I did decide to go for it, I'd call something deep. I'd throw a deep pass and hope that the defense didn't remember to just knock it down. If they intercept it, it's almost like a great punt and helps out your defense with field position.
Here's Matt Bosher now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. And now out comes Houston. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Now part 1 is done, now part 2. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Come on.
First throw of overtime for Wentz. And that time almost intercepted. That would have changed things here in overtime, but instead 2nd down. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face. Good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Shotgun now for Wentz. This is the tight end, Njoku. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Waiting!
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone.
Now Eckler. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Cowboys have recovered. And a costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder if maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now. Following the fumble recovery, it's Roethlisberger. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And play will be stopped here with 10 seconds remaining in overtime as they've called a timeout. And right now it all rests on the right foot of Aldrick Rosas. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And they will take the lead at 13-10. Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you...
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you want to give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconception.